Hi friends, construction site environmental requirements. The environmental requirements is one of the major thing for a construction site. The major construction sites always the requirements are there to keep environment rules and regulation are intact. The number one is waste management. How the construction site waste segregated, sorted, and stored and constructed debris materials, how it's collected, segregated, and disposed. So, these kind of things must be there in the proper site management. So that is the waste management techniques for construction site. It's a major environmental requirement. For example, the construction debris always hazardous. So how you are frequently removing the debris? What are the controls you have for the waste management in the project sites? Number two, the air pollution. The air pollution is the one of the major thing in the construction site. The soil and dust pollution is there, and always the particulate matters is the question. So how you are containing, how you are handling the dust and particulate pollutions. So what are the steps you have taken for minimizing the dust pollution by watering the dust and preventing the particulate matter and fencing the around areas, not exposing the project site direct to the open area. So you are taking the some steps to prevent the air pollution. The next one is noise pollution. The noise pollution is always there in a project construction site. So how you are having the proper control methods for noise? If the dB level above 70, so definitely it will be a question. So there should be a local and international requirements are there for environmental requirement for daytime. So this much the noise dB level. So you have to be make it some barriers and then give them ear mufflers and some acoustic control to protect the ears and to make the sound reduced. So this is the noise part. Then another, water management. How you are managing the water in the project size. How much water you are taking. Then what are the controls you have for storm water, and also the overall how you are managing the water and wastewater in the project sites. How much quantity you are generating, how you are disposing this one. You have records and how the water is saved in the project site. This much having that. Another environmental requirement is the habitat preservation. How you are preserving the habitat around the construction site. There is a vegetations are there. There is agriculture is there. Water body is there. So the construction site is responsible for the around areas vegetation and their habitat. You should not be spoiled. You have to take action to prevent the any kind of pollution to that habitat. So you have to preserve that habitat to taking the actions. In case of nearby vegetation is there, you have a right to prevent the pollution. It should not be affect the habitat of the nearby areas, either water body or vegetation or any kinds of monuments, anything you have to take responsible it should not be disturbed. Then another one is chemical management. How in project site the chemical managed, you have a separate area allocated, proper MSDs followed, proper receiving and labeling and disposing the chemicals. So these things are there for environmental requirement as per the local and international environmental rules and regulation. When it's the chemical hazardous waste, when it's disposed, how you are disposing? You have to dispose proper contractor or third party contract with the contractor and dispose proper environmental manner as per the environmental rules and regulations. The next one is environmental impact assessments. So company has to do the construction site itself is responsible to do to identify the major environmental impacts because of this project site. Air, water, land, soil, noise, this all the things you have to take a primary data collections and you have to find out what is the potential hazards and environmental impacts are there in that project sites, how you are mitigating and minimizing the environmental impacts. That is the EAA for major project sites. Then site specific requirement. This site is located in nearby any specific location. There are site specific rules and regulations are there that has to be compiled or that has to be followed for those who are working nearby river area, biological significant area, monument significant area. There are local environmental rules and regulations compliant. Community engagement. So how these environmental impact assessments, environmental things, how you are following, how you are taking the proactive steps for environment, these things you have to make a community around you and communicate all the things with community people are there around the project sites. This communication must be reach all levels of around the project sites to make a eco-friendly community. That community must know it. What are the steps you have taken for the environmental protection and pollution prevention? Thank you.